Hey, Shalom, this is Rob. I'm out for the Nebraska camp. This is GMS Any Quickening Spirit. First off, I want to say call halal to Yahweh Shemi Shai, double honors to our apostles/elders, which are GMS, and blessings and salutations to you brothers and a few women out there that's listening and doing this truth sincerity. And today's lesson is I was going through the web today and stumbled across something that was you know quite quite profound, some intriguing. I like to share with y'all brothers and Aquath out there. And as you see the title on this YouTube video here, things Nigerian women do that wow American women. Okay, basically the comparing and contrasting of those Hamitic tribes, since everybody want to be African now, compared to American people. Okay, and also what I found interesting is that how closely related their tradition and culture is compared to the Bible. Okay, for Sonetta and all that black conscious shit, and you Africans out there, this is gonna fuck your shit up right here. And I had to bring it out. And it's a beautiful thing to see. That you can see she's Hamitic herself. Most likely she's a Jake though. But at the end of the day, Hamite or Jake, she was born and raised in that, majority raised in that culture. So she knows what's going on as far as when she speaks on it, I would assume. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I'm going to, some certain parts. She's been Americanized, of course, so certain things she's going to tell about the culture, but then she's going to agree or disagree. But at the end of the day, what she's saying is the fact of the culture. So let's get into it,
As African women. Number one, cooking without complaining. We were raised to take care of the family, okay? I know it's stereotypical, but African mamas and papas no care about stereotypes too, because that's how they were raised. They raised the female children to learn how to cook and clean the house. So number one, cooking without complaining. I'm going to use myself as an example. I enjoy cooking. Whenever it's my turn to cook, I don't get mad. I don't feel overwhelmed. I just enjoy doing it. Because growing up, I was taught. I saw my mom cook for the family without complaining. And I enjoyed doing it. There were times when she needed help that I helped her out. And I watched her do it without complaining. So right now that I'm older, it's so much fun to cook. And I love it when I cook and people eat the food. Ah, you could be my best friend if I cook and you enjoy the food, oh.
Yeah, so that's what she's going over. Really simple. It's going to start out real simple, but let's see here. We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 22. Okay, real simple. Says what? Train up a child in the way that they should go, in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. What did she say? She loves cooking because she seen her mother do that when she was being raised. Okay, along with the fact that it got to the point she enjoyed it. Now, yeah, especially specifically a nigga woman, they don't, half of them can't cook, man. They can't cook, they can't clean. House is a mess. Don't want to cook for you, and they expect you to do everything for them, and they feel obligated based off of the Americanized way that a man should be submissive to the woman. Not and they call that equality nowadays. Okay, which is total BS. And then you Africans out there, you conscious niggas, you want to be submissive to the woman also. Okay, but she's talking about being submissive to the man. Okay.
Okay. Number two.
So she goes into cleaning. I don't really want to deal with that. That's the same thing, which I do agree with. But let's go into the next part of this segment. We're gonna go to see here, yeah, right here. Let's go to this next portion right here.
Wedding. Okay. Number four, naming ceremony. In the Western world, before a child is born, the husband and the wife have already selected a name, right? When they find out the sex of the baby, they've already come up with names for the kid, right? For the baby. Guess what? In Africa, it doesn't work that way. Your child is nameless the first 7 days of his or her life. But on the seventh day, there's usually what we call the naming ceremony. And that naming ceremony, your husband must have come up with a name. Who knows? Maybe you and your husband must have talked about it and come up with a name, but nobody else would know about the name until that day. So if you're from a
So what she said, okay, 7 days, okay, once that child is born, and guess what the scripture says? So let's get into the scriptures, okay? I really don't have to say nothing. I'm just going to be bringing out the scriptures and just pointing out how it lines up with the scriptures. Okay, so we're going to go to the book of Luke. Luke chapter 1, verse 58, okay? It's not really too much because it's self-explanatory. And it's beautiful how the Most High lines it up, okay? So Luke 1 and 58, okay? It says, and her neighbors and her cousins heard the Lord. Come on, you gotta sit down, little youngin. Okay, get out the camera. Stop trying to be in the camera, youngin. And her neighbors and her cousins heard how the Lord had shewed great mercy upon her, and they rejoiced with her. Okay, it's talking about who? John the Baptist. Verse 59. And it came to pass that on the 8th day they came to circumcise the child, and they called him Zacharias, after the name of his father, because that was what the tradition, of course. Okay, in that time Zacharias couldn't speak because of what? Salaki, I can go by your mom. Go ahead. Hey. And it came to pass that on the 8th day, what it said, verse 58, I'm gonna start at there, and says, and her neighbors and her cousins heard how the Lord had shewed great mercy upon her, and they rejoiced with her. Okay, and it came to pass that on the 8th day they came to circumcise the child. What she said, 7 days. Of course, here it says 8 days. Okay, that's around the same time, right? It says, and they called him Zacharias at the name of his father. And his mother answered and said, not so, but he shall be called John. Okay, why? Because the angel said so. Okay, and what happened? What was the relatives' response? And they said unto her, there is none of thy kindred that is called by this name, which shows that based off that tradition. And they made signs to his father, which is Zacharias, couldn't speak, right? How he could have him called. And they asked for a writing table and wrote, saying his name is John, and they marveled all. Okay? And his mouth was open immediately, and his tongue loose, and he spake and praised the Most High. So there you have it. That's showing that our traditions are synonymous with those traditions. It ain't like we get it from them, they got it from us, okay? Because we were in that land also, and these nations also watched us and how we operated for years and years on by, okay? So moving on. Here, come get your water. Okay, so let's move along here. Okay, I want to go to let's see here. And this is another part of naming the child, and I found it fascinating also.
So, okay, next. The names. Guess what? One thing about American women is, and I might just say the American culture. Kids are named randomly. People look up names on the internet, ask families about names, and there are some who look in the Bible to look for names for their babies, right? But guess what? In Africa, the circumstances surrounding the birth of that child, depending on what the father was going through at that time, or the mother, or whatever is happening in the family, the child is named according to the circumstances. Yes.
Elder Gabar likes to say the omen nomen, okay? That's how Yahweh was named. Okay, his name is he is salvation, for he shall redeem his people. Okay, and that's the reason why I wanted to bring that out. And all this is what in conjunction with the scriptures, man. Okay, You can find that in Matthew chapter 1. But I don't want to bring that one out in particular because I want to keep it moving. There's a little bit more to go, okay? So let's move along. This is another, you know, and another point, there's no Taquisha, Sharanisha. You're trying to share the name of you and the husband, or if you get married, you want to take your name, you keep your last name and keep the husband's last name, and do all this madness, man. And the nigga woman's profound for that, man. And you niggas are subjective to that, man. You let that shit go, okay? We have a culture, and our culture is within the scriptures, and we supposed to follow it according to that, man. Okay? Your child is supposed to be named based off, you pray to the Most High, or, i.e., and they don't even name their kids till 7 days after, like it said, man. Okay? And that's what's right after they're circumcised, or during that time of circumcision. Okay? But niggas is comfortable, Tyranisha, Lexus, Porsche, all that foolishness, man. Last name be Michael Stevenson. Having 2 last names. You're supposed to keep the last name of the of the man. So why? So you can carry on your family name. That's another reason why you niggas can't go back through your family tree. You know what I'm saying? Even up to this day, because of proud nigga women, man. You want to know your roots, but you got so many fucking last names because you want to do it how you want to do it. Because of pride. Okay? So let's move along. I don't want to really dwell too much on too many subjects because the points are going to be proven through the process of this lesson. So let's go to the next part.
Okay. So might just go number 7. Oh, for America here, before somebody visit you, they must tell you say they come or call your phone. If somebody don't tell you they come, if you like, go open door for them, abi. But for Nigeria, people go just show for your house, knock for door. You go let them in, you go leave them outside though. And when you let them in, you go feed them. Now so it be for our culture. That's why whenever you have an August visitor, an uninvited guest to your house, guess what? You don't ask them what they're doing first. The first thing you do, you open the door, you welcome them in, and you embrace them. You offer them a glass of water, ask them if they're hungry. Sometimes you wouldn't even ask them if they're hungry. You just go ahead and make some food for them. You offer them some food. After eating and relaxing, then you ask them what the reason of the purpose of their visit is. But in America, no be like that. Oh, if you just go somebody's house, go knock, expect they go feed you or anything. Now you buy them food.
So it's you niggas want Israel to be in America. That's why this place got to be destroyed, because it's fucking wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? The traditions of this place. That's why we got to get back. You can't support your own culture. You can't, pop up at nobody's house, type of things like that. But let's see what the scripture, it's not welcoming, you know what I'm saying? Because the type of niggas that'll come over. But let's see what the scriptures say about entertaining guests, okay? So let's go to, I'm going to go to Job chapter 31. It's going to be verse 32. Okay, it says, it goes into different things, but I just want to get this particular scripture verse in particular. It says, the stranger did not lodge in the street, but I opened my doors to the traveler. Okay? You don't open your doors to anybody. I don't mean anybody walk up to your door. It's talking about your brother, your Akim. Okay? So let's go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 13. Okay? Slack you. Did it again. Slack you, Akim. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay, chapter 13, verse 2. Let's start at 13, verse 1. Let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware. Okay? So that shows that, you're supposed to entertain them, and you're supposed to, be hospitable. So there's one with Lot, okay, how he treated the angels. There's one with the I forgot the brother in particular, but when his daughter got raped by the Benjamites, the man let him in, okay. There's different, when Abraham and his wife, they went to Egypt, those traditions were a known cultural thing, But what niggas been Americanized. That's why they talk all that shit and things about how men of the Lord operate, specifically of GMS, because they're not in tune with the ways of the Bible, man. Okay? That's why the scriptures say come out of her. You know, of course, it's talking about, the guy Hosea is talking about come out of her in two ways. You know, get beamed up on that chariot, and i.e. spiritually come out of her. Okay? That's like, don't take upon her ways. Okay? So, our people still, and you got niggas that's trying to be Israelites and still want to be Americans. And niggas want to be Africans and you still want to be American. Get gun shops and factories and all that dumbass shit, man. That's foolishness, man. That's madness, man. You just want to be American and you want your piece of the pie and you want to be African at the same time, talking about black power. No, it don't work like that. You on another man's property. When I mean another man's property, I'm talking about the culture of America. Okay? You can't come in somebody's shit and tell them how they run their shit. Or you want to do what you want at their company. Okay? Because America ain't nothing but a big ass business, man. And you polite Sinetta trying to go up in there and try to tell Esau how to run his business or let him do what he want to do within that business. You know, Esau ain't gonna let you do that shit, man. Okay? You got to take down that business. You got to take down this country, man, and establish what you're going to do. They're not going to be able to do it because they don't have the power of the Lord. Okay? Yasha has the power of the Lord. Okay? Through Yahweh Shimei Shai. Because that's what it's going to take, man. Because Esau's been liberated to have power, past our ability to physically overcome them. Okay? So let's get into this last portion, and this is the banger. This is the banger that I wanted to bring out. This is the reason why I wanted to do this whole lesson. And we're gonna go. Where's 1243? You know, I don't know how to put the links in. I'm gonna see if I could put the link in and do all that later, so other brothers can see. But you can see the title. Just type that shit in, man. You know. So here we go.
Number 10. Now, don't hear about child marriage before.
Oh.
Maybe I tell you about child marriage. I know, say when people hear about child marriage, you say, oh, pedophilia. Oh my God, he's a pedophile for marrying a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 13-year-old.
What?
Guess what? In some part of Africa, it seems like pedophilia is legal, though. Where I come from in the northern country, guess what? Young girls in their adolescence, young adolescent girls, I guess that's the best way to put it. Young adolescent girls, guess what? They get thrown into marriage before they're ready. I'm talking about Muslims now, part of the Muslim culture, the Hausas, where I grew up. They marry at a very, very young age. So by the time a girl is 20, she is already a mother of 4, 5, 6, or however many kids that she has. So by the time a girl is 30, guess what? She's a grandmother. She's a grandmother. Oh. So you have girls, at the first start of their menstrual period, guess what? The parents are already looking for husbands for them. I'm going to tell you this.
What the motherfucker just said?
At the first start of their menstrual period, guess what? The parents are already looking for husbands for them.
At the first side of their menstrual periods, the parents are looking for someone to marry them.
Oh, and I'm going to tell you this. It is not all the girls that are forced into marriage or given as gifts, as prizes.
Are they forced? Now she says it's not a segment of them being forced now. Now, what else?
To people their parents owe, just so their debts can be forgiven, right? There are some girls, I know, I think I had friends and neighbors that I grew up with, right? When they started seeing their periods and they grew mature so fast, and they weren't even 16 yet, guess what? They started pressurizing their parents to look for husbands for them.
Oh, right? This is a Hamitic woman. This is what polite them call a black queen, and with Sinetta, we pedophile, we rapists, and we blah, 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 blah. But here it is. This is their culture, man. Okay? Which is synonymous with the Bible. Okay? How can you, what you got to say about that? So, you already know what I'm about to get, and I'm going to get it. Okay? I don't know how to say it, but I'm going to get it. Okay? 1 Corinthians 7:36. But if any man think that he behaving himself uncommonly toward his virgin, if she passed the flower of her age, which is the menstrual cycle, okay, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not. He sinneth not. He sinneth not. Let them marry. Okay, let them marry. Now I'm not gonna be biased and not say that she disagreed with that culture. She disagreed with that part of that culture. That's because she's been Americanized. Because you could tell she's one. She said you need to be properly educated, things of that nature. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that is the norm. Okay, when was this? This is like 2 years ago. This is not like fucking 1985 or some shit, or a transitional period. This is November 12th, 2014, man. That's 2 years ago. Not even 2 years, about a year and a half ago. Okay? Where this is the culture that's taking place, and it's still going on right now. Right now. Son, that ain't gonna go out there and check no Nigerians on that shit. They just do that shit for money. And they're Americanized at the same time too, man. Okay, you niggas just want to be Africans. You want to be African Americans. That's what the hell you want to be. And Nate and Alizé and all these other niggas, you want to be Israelite Americans, man. Y'all don't want to be no full-blooded Israelites, and you and inside of them don't want to be no full-blooded Hamites, because your asses go back to Africa, man, and organize that country that way. What the fuck good is it to be over here trying to and build up Africa? No, you just go over there, man. Do your shows and invite everybody, whoever want to come to Africa, give them a ticket to come over there, okay, and rebuild the community, the black community. As you say, that was sarcasm, by the way. So that's just proof, you know. That brought a little smile to my face to hear a Hamite speak out like that against that shit, man. And that's pretty much it to it. I want to say Kwame Yasha Allah, blessings and blessings and salutations to you brothers out there enduring and worshiping in truth, sincerity, and double honor our apostles as elders, and call halal to Yahweh Shimi Al Shai. Shalom.